I think it's funny. I love watching this shit. Marco Rubio, if I said his name is. Oh shit, he destroys CBS. Check it out.
Better debater than Marco Rubio. If I was a Democrat and I worked on a TV station and my boss came up to me and said, "Hey, Clint, you're interviewing Marco Rubio today," I'd be like, "No."
I wouldn't.
Please, no. I don't want any part of it. It's good right off the bat.
People and good for the world.
Get your pen ready.
Another route, then there'll be consequences for that.
Let me follow up on a phrase you just word, weaponization ambitions. Are you saying there that the United States did not see intelligence that the Supreme Leader
destroys
had
her.
ordered weaponization?
That's irrelevant. I think that question being asked in the media, that's an irrelevant question.
No, that is the key point in U.S. intelligence assessment. You know that.
No, it's not.
Yes, it was.
No, it's
that
not.
The political decision had not
I know that
been
better than
made.
you know that, and I know that that's not the case.
But I'm asking you whether the order was given.
And the people who say that, it doesn't matter if the order was given. They have everything they need to build nuclear weapons. Why would you bury things in a mountain 300 feet under the ground?
Yeah.
Right.
Why would you bury why do they have 60% enriched uranium? You don't need 60% enriched uranium. The only countries in the world that have uranium at 60% are countries that have nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
They can just quickly make it 90. They have all the elements. They have. Why are they
picking a fight with the wrong person?
Is Iran going to go to the moon? No. They're trying to build an ICBM.
No, but that's a question. That's a question of intent, and you know in the intelligence assessment that it was that Iran wanted to be a threshold
How do
state
you know what
and
the
use this
intelligence
leverage.
assessment says?
I'm talking
How do you
about
know what
the
the
public
intelligence assessment
March
says?
assessment, and that's why I was asking you if you know something more from
but
March.
that's also
if
an
an order
inaccurate
was
representation of it. That's an accurate representation of it. That's not how intelligence is read. That's not how intelligence is used. Here's what the whole world knows. Now, forget about intelligence. What the IAEA knows. They are enriching uranium well beyond anything you need for a civil nuclear.
Someone doesn't have that much uranium unless they were planning on making fucking nuclear weapons. And she's arguing like, how do you know? How do you know? Watch, he fucking destroys the shit out of her. Don't play with him, man.
Enrich uranium at 60%.
Right.
If you don't intend to one day use it to take it to 90 and build a weapon. Why are you developing ICBMs? Why do you have 8,000 short-range missiles and 2,000 to 3,000 long mid-range missiles that you continue to develop?
Yep.
Why do you do all these things? They have everything they need for a nuclear weapon. They have the delivery mechanisms. They have the enrichment
And we were the target. They've been wanting to blow us up. They want us dead over here. We're their number one target besides Israel. I'm the type of person is, you know what? Let people battle their own shit out. Fuck going over and worry about us first. Worry about us first. You got veterans on the fucking street. You got homeless people. You got broken treaties with tribes all throughout the United States that needs to be fixed. You got dirty senators that's ripping people off. You got, oh my God, America's a hot fucking mess right now. And we need to worry about ourselves, but once they turn around and seen how much uranium that they had and long-range missiles and all kinds of stuff that could end up reaching America, and we are the number one target, of course. And not only that, come to find out, they say Iran was one of the people that put the hit out on Trump to get shot, and that's the reason why he got shot. No. What would you do if you were a leader? I would protect everybody here.
rich uranium that is stored.
Yes.
That's all we need to see.
Right. Well, and that's
Yeah.
In
so
the
it was
hands
the
of a regime that's already involved in terrorism and proxies
Yep.
and all kinds of things around. They are the source of all
Yes, and no
instability
one's
in the Middle East.
disputing. No one's disputing that. I'm not doing that here. And they were censured
Better
at
not.
the IAEA for that enricchment and for violating their non-proliferation.
Oh, now
agreements.
she's
I was
changing.
simply asking
She's
if we have
changing her tone now.
that there was
Simple
an order to
question.
weaponize, because you said weaponization ambition.
She
We
is a
have
shitty
intelligence
news
that they have
person.
everything they need to build a nuclear
Got
weapon,
it.
and that's more than enough.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
I want to ask you on the policy front. There are personnel throughout the Middle East from the United States, in Bahrain, in Kuwait, and other bases. If those countries are attacked by Iran because of their association with the United States, will the United States defend them?
Well, that's exactly why they're there. That's a great point, actually. Do you know why we have bases in Bahrain and Qatar
Yeah.
and
Why?
UAE and in all these places?
Because
All
we
those
have to.
bases are there because those countries are afraid that Iran will attack them. If Iran was not a threat to the region, if the Iranian regime, because I'm talking about the Iranian people, the regime was not a threat to the region, we wouldn't have to have any of these bases. Those bases are there because those countries are petrified that that the Iranian Shia clerics that run that country will attack their countries.
Will the United
As you
States
know, they've
defend
got
them
a
if they
very
are?
difficult
They
history.
already are.
Well, that's why we're there.
Already are.
That's why we're there.
So,
But
yes,
they'll
we
attack
will
us,
defend
is
them.
what they're threatening to do. So we'll defend our people, obviously.
Can I have you
we'll
on the
defend our
record?
people. Well, they'll attack our bases, and those are our bases, and we're going to defend our personnel. We're prepared to do that, but we'll do more than
Yep.
just defend. We'll impose costs on Iran if they attack American personnel, whether they do it directly or whether they do it through some of these proxies that they try to hide behind, and that includes the Houthis.
Yes.
So another proxy of theirs.
Silly
So,
billies.
but let's hope they don't choose that route. Let's all hope that they actually decide, okay, let's go negotiate, because we want a diplomatic and peaceful solution. We have achieved our objectives. We're ready to negotiate this in a peaceful, diplomatic way. We've been prepared to do that for days. They are the ones that played games,
Okay.
as they have done for 40 years, as they have done to multiple presidents. They tried to play games
Yep.
with President Trump, and they see what happens. This is not a game-playing president. When he says he's going to do something, he will do it.
I hear you saying
Gonna have
here
to
you want to
Google Houthi.
de-escalate when you are talking about diplomacy. You are looking for Iran to pick up that offer that was put on the table you mentioned by Steve Witkoff. Can you just clarify, does that mean the U.S. would still allow for Iran to have a civilian nuclear program if it does not enrich
De-escalate.
on its own soil?
But that's never been an issue. There's countries all over the world that have a civil
But
nuclear
that's still
program.
an
No
offer
one
on the
here is saying
table?
that Iran can't. Sure, that's always been there. Any country in the world has a right to have a civil nuclear program. What they don't have a right to do is to enrich it at 60%, hide it under a mountain, and
Yeah.
develop long-range and short-range and mid-range missiles and sponsor
Yep.
terrorist proxies all over the world. They don't have a right to do that. And that's what they've been doing. And no one's dealt with it. And it's continued to linger. And they've played games with multiple presidents and multiple countries around the world, and they've gotten away with it for 40-something years.
Getting
This is
goofy.
very simple. The president wants to resolve this diplomatically and peacefully. He gave them a chance to do that. They delayed. They had all these kind of delay tactics. They wouldn't even meet with us directly. We had to
Well,
go
they're
through
tired.
third countries. This
Yeah.
is very simple. Let's meet directly. Let's work on agreements that are good for Iran,
Yeah.
good for the Iranian people in particular, good for the safety and security of the world and the United States.
This to me is more about Ukraine and Russia. When Biden came in, America became weak. And now Trump has told the world, we're not playing games anymore. Look what we can do. And that makes me feel good.
But what is the
Yeah.
U.S. assessment of how much nuclear material at those sites was moved prior to the attack? There has been talk for days about bombing of Fordow.
100 grams.
Well, look, we don't. No one will know
100
for sure for days, but I doubt they moved it because you really can't move anything right now, and they can't move anything right now inside of Iran.
See, they
the
know
minute
stuff
a
we
truck
don't
starts
know.
driving somewhere, the Israelis have seen it and they've targeted it and taken it out. So our assessment is we have to assume that that's a lot of 60% enriched uranium buried deep under the ground there in Isfahan, and that really is the key. What they should do with that is they should bring it out of the ground and turn it over. Multiple countries around the world will take
There
it
you
and
go.
downblend it. That's what they should do with that.
This part is the best right here. But all this talk about uranium, what about gold? With all this chaos, is gold about to spike? Do you remember when you said, hey, we should buy some gold, and then you didn't do it? Now you're kicking yourself? Here is an easy way to do this, guys.
I wish
At
I had the
Birch
money.
Gold,
I
you
would've
can
bought
convert
some.
your IRA
Gold's gonna
or
go crazy.
401k into a tax-sheltered gold.
Man, go for the gold. Go for the gold. Because I'm telling you what, if you buy gold right now, gold and silver, that's just going to skyrocket. I wish I had the money for it. So if you got the money for it, invest in it and hold it. Because it's going to boom.
your savings with something tangible, and now is the time to do it. This is why. On July 6th, BRICS nation, Russia, China, India, Iran, and a growing list of others are expected to announce a strategy to sidestep the US dollar entirely. A direct hit to the dollar's value and potentially your retirement savings. Those countries aren't bluffing. They've already been ghosting the dollar. And they've been buying gold like it's 1971. What do? Well, you keep calm. You diversify with gold from the Birch Gold Group. Gold has always been a safe haven during chaos, and
And no matter what, if the world goes to shit, say United States falls and all this other shit, let me tell you, for hundreds and hundreds of years, gold and silver's been pretty much the prime. And it's always worth something. No matter where you go, you can be in the United States, you could be in Iran, you could be fucking clear across the country, China, or wherever, Russia, anywhere, and gold and silver will always be top dog. That's why I said, no matter what, gold and silver will always be top dog. It's been that way for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So if anything, if you want to invest some gold. If you don't trust stocks or whatever like that, I wish I had like 10 grand. I'd go buy some fucking gold and silver right now, because that shit's gonna double and triple here in a second. Yep.
is kind of having its moment. Again, convert your IRA or your 401k into a...
These guys want a nuclear weapon one day.
Okay,
they do.
to that point.
And it isn't going to happen. Not while Donald Trump is president.
Understood.
Right.
You've said this is not about regime change, but you are describing a regime that you have said for decades, I mean, for upwards of 40 years, has chanted death to America, has done all the things you just described.
She is such a shitty ass fucking news person. It's always jab, 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 jab. You'll notice that with CBS. It's always a jab. You always got to take a jab. But if you turn around and you watch, if say if you had like a Democrat or something like that go in front of this lady would be asking some nice ass questions. But since it's to do with Trump, like I said, Trump derangement syndrome. Everybody's got Trump derangement syndrome, and it's a jab, 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 jab. So I'm telling you, why can't you just be fair all the way around? You know what I'm saying? Be fair all the way around. But she wants to take jab after jab. Listen,
Deal with them
she's messing with the wrong person.
Aren't you offering to negotiate with the same people you're saying did all these things? So therefore, are you actually looking for regime change?
That misses the point. I don't like that they chant those things, but one thing is that they chant those things. Another thing is that they chant those things and they have terror proxies are all over the world, and they have long-range missiles that can reach the United States one day, and they have the potential to be one step away from a nuclear weapon. You know, one day could be tomorrow, could be a week from now, could be a month from now. You know, all it takes is the flip of a switch. By the way, they're not going to broadcast that to the world. By the time we figure out that they're doing it, you have all the pieces in place, okay? It's like you have a gun here and the ammunition.
Yeah.
It only takes 1 second. We have other targets that we could hit, but we achieved our objective. 30. The primary targets we were interested in are the ones that were struck tonight in devastating fashion. The ones that were struck, I guess, tonight over there, their time, in devastating fashion, and we've achieved that objective. The United States flew halfway around the world, right into the heart of Iran, over their most sensitive locations. These things got rocked, and then we left. We were over the ocean before they figured out what had happened. And there are plenty of other targets. We don't want to do that. That's not our preference. We want peace deals with them, and that's up to them to decide.
Could you imagine being married to this guy? How many times do I have to tell you after the washing machine is done spinning, you take those damn clothes and you put it into the dryer for 1 hour, not 45 minutes. 45 minutes, they'll be damp. 1 hour with a bounce sheet. Thank you. And by the way, it would help if you had a clue.
Our objective here is very straightforward. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They're not even going to get close to a nuclear weapon. They're not even going to be in the neighborhood of a nuclear weapon, because these people are dangerous. This is a radical Shia clerics who run that country, and they are the source of all instability in the region, all of it. Without Iran and this regime, there is no Hamas, there is no Hezbollah, Well, because we don't want them to have a nuclear weapon.
Okay, but
that's the core objective. But I'm going through the things they've done because that's why they can't have a nuclear weapon. Okay, they sponsor Shias. They sponsor these Shia militias, Hamas, Hezbollah, all these other terrorist groups. These people are never going to get anywhere close to a nuclear weapon.
Terrorizing everybody.
For the Americans at home who are going, are we at war? You know, I'm trying to suss out some of the facts here. So, why would Iran agree to any peace deal if the United States has already pulled out of one that they had, as President Trump did?
I tell you what, if Iran doesn't want to do a peace deal, they don't want to live. Because they've been terrorizing people. Oh my God, they've been This reason why there's bases, we got bases all around, is because people are scared because they're linked up with all kinds of terrorist fucking people. Yeah, look it up.
Now have launched 2 surprise attacks. Both Israel and the United States have done so. There is such a massive trust deficit there. How could you possibly come
the trust deficit started with Iran.
I know.
Well, the trust deficit, the ones that shouldn't be trusted are the Iranians because they're the ones that sponsor terrorism. Did they forewarn us before they blew up the embassy in Lebanon and killed over 200 American servicemen?
So good.
Did they forewarn us before they built IEDs and blew the legs and arms off of American servicemen in Iraq? I mean, these are the people that are doing this forever. They're the ones that no one should trust. They're the ones that have lied about their nuclear program.
But
they're the ones that have hidden things from the international organisms.
But that sounds like we're...
And then, that was kind of really fucking stupid on their part because it was, why pick a fight with someone that's a superpower? That would be like, you know, trying to pick a fight with a superpower like China or something like that, and you don't even have shit to back it up with. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, you might be really close on it, on making a nuclear weapon. Why would you want to pick a fight? So obviously they were ready for it. Obviously they were like really, really, really close. If they were sitting there really trying to pick a fight with the United States, when you know goddamn well the United States would have just fucking leveled them. Yep. United States is dangerous. You would have just leveled them. See, Biden was a pushover when he was there. He didn't even know what the fuck was going on. The poor man didn't know shit. All these other people were sitting there doing shit, fucking signing shit, using the auto pen, and that's a whole nother story. I went over a little bit of that already.
Change or the desire to get these people out of power.
No, a serious foreign policy is one that's focused on identifying what our national interest is. You don't have to like the regime. There are a lot of regimes around the world that we don't like, okay? But in this particular case, what we are focused on is not the changing of the regime. Okay, that's up to the Iranian people if they want to do that, but that's not what we're focused on. Our national interest is about one thing, and that is Iran not getting anywhere near the capability to weaponize and have nuclear weapons. They're not going to get anywhere near that capability. The president has made that clear from day one. Our preference for solving that problem, that very specific problem, is through diplomacy. We've said that. We've given it every opportunity. They played games. They tried delay tactics. They're trying delay tactics now on the Europeans because of the snapback provisions.
When
and you talk about the JCPOA, that was a crazy deal.
When did the president make this decision? Because he said he was giving 2 more weeks of diplomacy on Friday, and on Friday, these jets took off.
Okay, would you here's the art of war. Would you turn around and be like, hey, we're gonna go do this? When these fucking dumbass media will turn around and run with it, and it'll be clear across, and you're letting these people know that, hey, I'm coming. It's none of their fucking business. That's why he was like, it could be anywhere from now to fucking 2 weeks. That's what he said. He didn't say, all 2 weeks. I'll let you know it could be from now to 2 weeks when I make my decision. And these people don't fucking listen. They run with trying to flip it around. Watch what he says.
Well, the president retains the opportunity to pull out of this at any moment, including 10 minutes before.
Yep.
But the president ordered options. The president, look, The decision, in my view, was made when he wrote a letter to the Supreme Leader and he said, over the next 60 days, we want to do a deal with you and solve this problem of nuclear weaponization.
Yeah.
We want to do it peacefully.
Yeah.
If after 60 days we don't see progress or it isn't solved, we have other alternatives.
All right.
He made that very clear. I think what some people
Mr.
are
Secretary.
struggling with here is that we today have a president who does what he says he's going to do. And that's what happened here.
So good.
Shit it on her. She was looking, she was digging, flipping words around. It's like, come on, man. Yep. He's one person you don't want to play with when he could do his talking and he knows his shit. Yep. Pam Bondi's the same way. Cash Patel is the same way. Everybody around him. Everybody around Trump. Anyways. Smash that like button. Share this shit or whatever. Subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Man, it was hot today, guys. Oh my God, my van was like 98 degrees. One time it was at least 105 in the back of my van, in the back part, not the front part where the air conditioning was at. Oh my God, I was struggling. Dude, it was so hot out today. Severely. I feel burnt. I feel so nasty. I'm gonna go take me a shower, relax in the air. All right, much love and respect, man. Love y'all.